Welcome to this section of rest, recovery and repair after walk. The first thing that we are going to look at is walking as an extension of just standing. As we become adults, our standing posture itself has undergone some deterioration, some imbalances have crept in. When we take those imbalances into walking, they get reinforced and in fact they get even more exaggerated. So let us see how we can fix some of these things, or at least become sensitive, attentive towards some of these things even as we are standing. So the first thing that we do is just stand, and you can do it with me. Let's do this together. Standing, you can look down at your own feet, look down at your feet, and you will notice that most of us, when we stand, when we are just casually standing, we will stand so that our toes are going out and the heels are a little closer than the toes. This is where the first level of imbalance can start to creep in. When we stand with our feet out like this, probably we are also walking with our feet like that. This probably happened because you already had dropped arches, probably happened because you already have weak muscles of the thighs. Whatever be the reason, it is time to correct it. So stand first. As you stand from your casual standing position, please take the heels out, take the heels out. Bring the outer edge of your feet, make it parallel with each other. And when you stand upright, you will notice that it probably feels a little odd. So anything unfamiliar will feel odd. Look at the knees. When we do this action, we are not turning the knees in towards each other. In fact, that is not a good action at all. So have the knees facing the front, but take the heels out. And you can now try and walk, take a few steps like that. So when you place your feet, see that the toes are going straight to the front. Let's take this block. So this could be a book, or you could just roll up a towel very firmly, make a not a soft roll but a firm roll, and hold it between the thighs. And we are doing the same thing, holding the block between the thighs, pointing the toes towards the front. And just take a moment to stand upright. You will probably become aware of your inner thighs, which you probably would not be aware of usually. Now this is what we are going to do. We will lift our toes up, we will lift all the toes up. When you do that, watch for a moment what happens. What else happens after you lift your toes up? You should notice some grip happening around your knees. You should notice some grip happening on the fronts of your thighs. Here's the other thing that you will notice, that the moment you lift your toes up, you are slightly pushed back towards the heels of the feet. Now this is a really important action, not just anatomically, physiologically, but psychologically, to reverse this forward intent all the time and to step back and to stay back. So please practice this. If you are not doing anything else, whenever you are standing, when you can remember, lift all your toes up, let yourself slightly swing back. Now be there and take the toes down. So as we take the toes down, try not to swing forward again. As you take the toes down, be on the heels, be more on the heels. Now it means that you have to use your legs more actively. If you do not use the legs more actively, you will probably swing forward. Practice being more on the heel than on the front of the foot. In other words, practice being in the center, because most of us are all the time towards the front. See how that feels. Now this is the wisdom of the basic standing asana in the vocabulary of asanas, which is called Tadasana. This is what we are looking at are some of the principles of Tadasana, and we could do several sessions just on Tadasana, but these simple points are really important for the health of your feet. If you have dropped arches, flat foot, lifting the toes up will also lift your arch up. These are important for the health of your knees. The moment you lift your toes up, your quadricep muscles, the front thighs, will immediately pull the kneecap up. The placement of the foot with the feet pointing forward instead of the toes going outside is very useful for the health of your lower back. This action of finding some sensitivity in your inner thigh is very useful for the health of your legs. So, you are not just working from a narrow region of the frontal thigh, but you also start using your inner thigh, your outer thigh. Release. Let's take this chair and we are going to take a step from this just standing to doing a few other things with the legs. I will show you both a sideways view and a back view. You can just face the cameras whatever is easy for you to see. So, just take a chair. We are standing quite close to the chair with the palms on the backrest of the chair. The palms are open. Having the chair in front gives us that confidence to be back on the heels. Of course, most of us can probably stand without any support. We probably don't need that leg, but just do it. You will notice that it makes a difference. You will feel psychologically a little more secure about being on your heel rather than leaning forward. Press the hands down, move the shoulders back, let the chest be lifted up. Now from here, step out with the right foot, step out with the left foot. I have gone a little wider than my hips. Watch if you have equal weight on both the feet. As soon as you start doing these movements, you are now doing something which you never do if you are only walking or just sitting or just casually walking. You have started separating your thighs. It's a very different hip action. Now see if you can go a little wider. We are still using the chair to help us stay upright instead of leaning forward. Now do it to your capacity. Any one of these things, they are quite gentle. There's nothing extreme that we are doing, but if you do not have any physical practice apart from walking, or if you don't even have the practice of walking, anything can strain your muscle, ligament, bone. So just be a little careful, work within your range. We are standing now with the legs apart. You should still feel that you are standing clearly, confidently on your legs. So we are not leaning on the chair. We are not feeling imbalanced. We are standing. Let's see how this looks from the back. So I am standing and notice once again I have taken my heel out to the level of the little toe. Try this. So these are very small things that you don't need to set aside one exercise hour of the day. You can just do it when you are just standing. Whenever you remember, try to sometimes stand with your legs apart a little more than your comfort level and press down equally with both the feet. Press the outer edges of the feet down and come back to the center. Take a couple of breaths. We are going to add to this. We are doing this together. Once again, step out. This time, turn the right leg out. Turn the foot out, turn the knee out, turn the thigh out. A rotational action of the hip. Once again, something that does not happen when you walk. Still holding on to the chair. Bend the leg at the hip. The back leg is straight. The front leg, the right leg is bent. And then come up, turn that right leg back in, turn the left leg out. The right leg will stay straight. Bend the left leg. If you have not done these for a really long time, or if you have never done this, all of these will feel like new sensations. You will feel some stretch, some pull, some tension. As long as it is not going into outright pain zone, it is all fine. Come up. Bring the feet together. Let's repeat this, and I am turning sideways so you can look at something that is rather important. We are repeating. Take a look. If you are facing the camera, you can continue to work while you are looking. When I take the leg down, I am not leaning towards the chair, I am still staying in the center. Only the thigh is going down. And same on the other side. Let's repeat once again on both the sides. So bend the right leg, do it to your capacity. Be upright, do not lean forward. Also don't lean towards your right side, be in the center. Come up, both legs straight, turn both the feet to the front. Check once again, the heels should be in the same level as the little toes. Turn the left leg out. I am mirroring you, turn the left leg out, and when we descend on the left side, so you stay in the center in this plane as well. We are not leaning towards the left side, it is not like that. Be in the center and descend. The right leg stays absolutely straight, and then come up. Bring the legs together. And I think already maybe some of you feel some new actions, new regions of your legs that you might not have felt in a while. Let's try the other angle. So this time, and the chair might not be necessary. We step forward with the right leg, we step back with the left leg. It's like a walking step, except that it's a little longer. So stand and see if you are in the center. Do you feel equal weight on the front side and the back side? Now make the step longer. So step forward a little more with the front leg, step back a little more with the back leg. Again, do it to your capacity. You should not feel imbalanced and shaky. You should feel like you are able to confidently stand. Can you once again lift the toes up of the front foot and see once again how it kind of pushes you back. In this case, it pushes you back towards your back leg. Have that experience of making the back foot heavy. Change the leg, come back to the center, and then left leg forward, right leg back. First take an easy step and then go a little beyond. You do not have to mimic my stance, especially if you are doing it for the first time or after a very long time. Your step can be smaller, but slowly you can try to increase the range. Yes, now lift the toes of the front foot, the left foot up, and let yourself get slightly pushed back towards the back foot. Make the back foot heavy. Come back. Take a couple of breaths. Once again, repeat. Right leg forward, left leg back, and this time we can use the chair. And just like the previous position we had done, let us bend the front leg. Do it to your capacity. It's okay if the back heel is lifted up, that's fine. Once again, we are not leaning into the chair. Also, importantly, you are not arching the back. Please don't do this, especially if you do not have good physical practice, because this can strain your back. So be upright, just bend the leg at the knee. Try to keep the back leg straight, the heel can lift up. Inhale, come up, change the leg. Left leg forward, right leg back. Bend the left leg. Keep the right leg relatively straight, the right heel can lift up, that's fine. Be in the center. Come up and be upright. Let's look at some simple arm and shoulder actions. This is a yoga strap and it has a buckle. I can use the buckle to make a loop. If you do not have a strap, if you are just working with a piece of cloth, let's say you just have this piece of cloth, you can just make a knot at one end, and you can also create a loop for yourself. So because of the buckle, it's easier for me to adjust the length of the loop, and I am taking a loop that is approximately my shoulder width wide, either that or a little wider, not narrower, either shoulder width or 2-3 inches wider. Doing this, if you are using a piece of cloth, you will have to tie the knot accordingly. If you are using a belt, it is a little more easily adjustable. So we are going to use this in a minute. First, let us just take the arms to the front, interlock the fingers, turn the palms out, bend the elbows, take the arms overhead, take the arms up. We are doing this together, and we will hold for a count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, release. Let's just continue to hold this block between the thighs. Every now and then remind yourself to lift the toes up. That will activate the entire front of the leg. It will move your weight towards the back of the feet, that is towards the heel side. Let's repeat once again. Interlock, turn, bend the elbows, take the arms overhead, and then take the arms up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. As we had taken the arms to the front, we are now going to take the arms to the back. Any activity that takes your attention towards your back body is highly desirable, because irrespective of whether or not you walk, most of us are always forward facing. We interact with the world which is in front of us. All our sense organs are directed towards the front, and our back bodies get completely ignored. So anything that you can do to bring more awareness towards your back is good. Let's take the arms back, interlock, and we are going to hold 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, release. If you have a window or a balcony grill, then this is also a wonderful way of doing this. So you can catch hold of your grill, take your arms wide enough that your shoulders are not getting strained. This is especially so for people who have any kind of cervical discomfort or shoulder discomfort, neck discomfort already. Please don't make the arms very narrow, because immediately that will make your discomfort worse. So always have the arms a little wide. Have the arms wide. Take the arms back and just slightly lean forward. If you don't have access to anything like this right away, you can just repeat what we just did. Just holding for 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, release. Now let's take the strap. Shoulder width, it can be wider. If you have any shoulder discomfort, cervical discomfort, definitely make it wider. If you know that you have stiff shoulders, definitely make it wider. I am keeping this strap on my wrist, and then we take the arms up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, release. Take the arms back. Once again, from the back, fix the belt to the wrist. Roll your shoulders back with the elbows bent, and then straighten the arms, holding for 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, release. Let's do these 2 or 3 arm movements together, one after the other. We will just hold for about 5 seconds each time. The first one was interlocking, turning the palms out, bend the elbow, take the arms overhead, and then extend the arms up. Remember to lift your toes, make the legs firm. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release the arms. Take the arms back, and you can hold on to a grill if you have that option, otherwise just once again interlock. Shoulders roll back. Now this one might be little difficult for people who have stiffness in the shoulders. Please omit it or do it only with the grill. Don't do it if it's going to make your shoulder condition worse. Extend the arms back or hold on to a grill. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Take the belt at the wrist, either shoulder width or little wider, palms facing each other. You can bend your palms when you are bringing the arms overhead, that's fine, but then try your best to straighten. Lift the toes up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Take the arms behind. Roll the shoulders back, then extend the elbows and move the hands away from the back. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and release. And now go ahead and enjoy your walk.